Hey guys, it's 𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗏𝗚 here, and we are officially in October's spooky season. Now, starting the season off, I really wanted to go big for you guys, and I designed Disney Channel's Halloweentown. If you guys are familiar with this movie was released in 1998 and spawned a mini franchise of 4 movies. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite films, and I had so much fun designing this whole town for you guys. It's actually inspired by both the movie set version and the real town of St. Helens, Oregon, where the movie was filmed. So without further ado, let's jump on into Windenburg and check out Halloweentown. Alright guys, and here we are with a full view of the lot. As mentioned, we are in fact in Windenburg, and we're way on the outskirts of town, and this is a full view of Halloweentown itself. Like I mentioned, this took a lot of heavy inspiration from both the movie set in the first movie, along with the real city of St. Helens, Oregon in the United States. Now, a really fun fact about this city in real life, this city does in fact become Halloweentown when the October season kicks in. So if you really enjoy the films, definitely go to St. Helens. You can have the full Halloweentown experience. You guys just saw a shot of the Central Park area where the big iconic jack-o'-lantern is, and on the sides we do have a lot of different little cool shops that are from the movie itself, and in fact use the real life locations seen in St. Helens. So we do have like a clinic, we have a gym, a boutique, a movie theater, just a really cool variety of different places for your Sims to visit. In front we have the view of the iconic Halloweentown Town Hall. Fun fact, this building in real life is actually not the Town Hall, but I think it's some kind of courthouse if I'm not mistaken. And then farther back we have a view of Grandma Aggie's house. I absolutely love her character, and I think Debbie Reynolds does such a great job being Grandma Aggie, being a really whimsical, very fun and loving witch. Over here is a view of Gort's house. Gort is a character that comes in Halloweentown 2, and we'll definitely get to explore his really strange abode later on in this video. Zooming out, we're going to take a look at the lot in different forms of lighting. We're going to start with the evening view. Then we go to the night view where everything lights up super cool and spooky for the Halloween season. We take it back to the morning view, and finally bringing it back to the afternoon where we will take a closer look inside. Starting off the tour of Halloweentown itself, we're actually going to start on the west side of town, and as always, I do want to mention that there will be spoilers, so if you do want to watch these films, definitely do that first and then come back over here to watch the tour. What we're looking at now is a view of the movie theater area, and the front does have a few different fixtures. We do have this ice cream shop run by an abominable snowman, and this is actually where Grandma Aggie confronts the Mayor Calabar regarding some strange occurrences throughout the town. This area over here was not actually seen in the movie itself, but I did convert it into a small, cozy bookstore, if you will. So I definitely think it's nice and neat. It definitely does what it needs to do. And then moving over here, we have a front view of the movie theater. This is the box office area where you'd essentially pick up your ticket. And we do enter a small waiting room filled with movie posters along the walls as well. Moving forward, we enter the cinema itself, and this abandoned cinema is very important in the first movie. Essentially, Calabar is evil. He's holding different Halloweentown residents captive here, sort of in a comatose state, and Marnie and her siblings have to rescue them, along with their Grandma Aggie and their mom. Moving over here, we do enter the Halloweentown gym, and this is another location seen in the movie. This is actually where Marnie and her siblings try to begin collecting special ingredients for the potion that will fuel the jack-o'-lantern in Halloweentown. And I remember there's a really funny scene with a leopard that's conducting some kind of fitness session. There's a lot of trolls and other creatures working out there. And moving down, we do enter the pool/sauna area. Now, Marnie's brother Dylan is tasked with, I believe, getting the sweat of a ghost, as weird as that sounds. And unfortunately, I didn't have any sauna materials, but I thought these really strange scientific showers kind of filled the void for that. We do have a view of the boiler room where a lot of that nice hot water is coming from. And just for realism's sake, we do have a ladder leading down to that floor, just in case it needs some maintenance, if you will. Moving over, we do have a nice swimming pool. This pool is supposed to be part of this area of the gym, so I did want to include that. And then farther back, we do in fact have locker rooms / bathrooms as well. Now these are divided onto a male and female side, but like I always like to say, you can certainly make these gender neutral in your game if you would like. Now heading back up to the top floor, we have one last area in this side of town, and this is the werewolf's hair salon. Again, the siblings are tasked with getting another ingredient, and it is in fact a hair of a werewolf, I believe. So this is a view of the salon. We definitely have a lot of different stations for different clients. There is like a hair styling, hair drying station for the clientele as well. I don't really know what those seats are called, but I did kind of create them using different objects. Moving back, we have a sort of VIP section if someone wants to get their hair done in private. And we do have a public restroom there as well. Moving back out, we're going to look at the little park area that's actually outside one of the apartment complexes. And it's a really cool little space. It's just a really nice tucked away sitting area. And we do have an area that you can play chess under the tree as well. Now flipping back to the east side of Halloweentown, we do have a lot of really cool shops on this side as well. Starting off is the clinic / dentist's office, and this is in fact part of the movie itself. Again, the siblings are tasked with getting a vampire's fang, if I'm not mistaken, and they do succeed in doing so. This is just a view of the front sitting area, which you guys just saw, and there is of course a little public restroom there in the corner. Over here is, of course, the front desk area where you would check in with the receptionist. And towards the back, we do have a ton of filing cabinets for patient files, and of course, a coffee counter to fuel our hard-working doctors. Over here, I don't really know what this area is in a clinic, but usually there is a counter like this, usually for running different kinds of tests, maybe on urine or blood samples, if you will. And over here, we do enter the dentist's office, which is in fact included in the movie. Now, I did take a lot of creative liberty with this because there wasn't really a clear shot of this area, but I did want to make sure that it was included in this town itself. This office is for optometry, so we do have those eye charts that we all know and love, just kind of hanging up there on the corner. And then moving back, we do have a larger room as well. This is probably more of a general health room. Maybe people have, I'm not really sure. Maybe they just need some long-term care. Maybe they have more serious illnesses that they need to check with a doctor. So I did want to make a spot for that. Moving back out, we do have a view of the antique shop, along with the witch supply shop as well. And this is seen in the movie. This is where Marnie gets her very first magic flying broom. But going inside, it is in fact an antique shop, so I did want to do just that. Going through the door, we have a lot of different collectibles. We have fancy vases, we have sculptures. For some reason, there's always an area with these really old vintage lamps in antique shops, so I did want to create that. And then along the wall here, we do have some vintage furniture along with some beautiful artwork for sale as well. And you guys can see some of the antique mirrors and some other collectibles in the corner there. Towards the back, it's pretty simple. We do have a storage area for realism's sake, and then we do have another public restroom kind of tucked away in the corner there. So leaving the antique shop, we do have a witch's boutique, I guess. This is not really seen in the movie, but I did see it referenced in a official Disney map of Halloweentown. So I did want to make something that would be fitting for what was seen on the map itself. So you can definitely get some nice shoes, some nice clothes here. It's very sweet, it's very feminine. I really love how this design came out. I was going to use mannequins, but mannequins unfortunately have been glitching very badly in my game, so you're more than welcome to put your own in there. The last stop is a sort of cafe / bar area. I thought this was a really nice addition to the town because we didn't really see anything like that in the movie. So I think this is a really great place for locals to come over, have a drink, grab some lunch. Just a really cool tucked away spot. And then finally back here we have the entrance to the other apartments, which we will get to very shortly. Heading up to the second floor now, we do in fact have a view of the apartments on the west side of town. Now these apartments were really fun to make, and I definitely wanted to ensure that they did fit that whole 90s vibe. I wanted to make sure that the appliances and the fixtures were definitely what was seen in that era. This is just a quick view of the sitting area outside of the different apartments. And moving on, we will look into the very first unit. This apartment unit is in fact located right on top of the boutique, so it's definitely a little bit more pastel, it's pink, it's feminine. I had a lot of fun designing these different areas for different types of Sims. So it's pretty consistent in theme throughout. We do have a pretty nice kitchenette there. And then moving forward, we do have a view of the bedroom. I was really having fun incorporating a lot of the objects from Seasons. We do have a lot of nice furniture and a lot of nice holiday decor from that pack as well, so it's definitely a great place to use them. It's just a quick view of the bathroom itself. And then moving over, we do enter the next suite. This one is a little bit more suburban. It doesn't feel so pink and frilly, if you will. So this one is more of a darker blue and orange color scheme. For some reason, I was thinking more of Harvest and Thanksgiving when I made this, so there is kind of that more autumn feel, I guess, to this apartment itself. We do have a nice little sitting area to watch TV with the family. And then going into the bedroom itself, this one definitely feels very pumpkin spice to me. I think those strong oranges, those strong browns really popped. And of course, we do have the small bathroom tucked away in there as well. Moving over, we do have the last apartment on this floor, and this one is actually made for more of a magical occult sim, if you will. So we do have a lot more content in this apartment with Realm of Magic objects in particular. I imagine that this place could be maybe for a fairy or an elf. We do have some skill building objects with the easel and guitar. And then likewise, the bedroom is really fun. It does have a lot of nature and tree elements, as you can see by the decal. And then of course we have the essential tucked away bathroom there as well. Heading back over to the east side of Halloweentown, we do enter the second apartment complex. Now this one is definitely a lot more fun. It definitely features units that are more oriented towards magical occult sims, if you will. And this is the sitting room for this apartment. Now, as you can see, this is pretty much as Halloween as it can get. We have cobwebs, we have jack-o'-lanterns, we have that black and orange combination going on. And from there, we enter the very first suite. Now, this one I designed to be more of an ice/snow type of scheme, so this is definitely fitting for the Yeti, the Abominable Snowman, maybe even some type of ice fairy or ice queen, potentially for Elsa if you do have that sim. And then going over here, we do have a view of the bedroom, and we keep that theme going with the polar bear and the painting of the glaciers. And of course, we have the essential bathroom tucked away over there. Moving over, we do have a bedroom that has a lot of Realm of Magic content. So this is perfect for a witch or a warlock, if you will. We do have that really cool lunar phase rug there with the crystal light on the end table there. And like I said, this is definitely a much more magical apartment. You do have a lot of flexibility with it. And this is in fact a view of the bedroom. It does have some interesting like sigil paintings in the front that I thought fit the whole magical spellcaster theme. And again, the essential bathroom in the corner there as well. Going to the last suite in this apartment complex. This one was super fun. This one is obviously oriented towards a vampire or a more gothic sim if they're not necessarily occult. So we have a lot of strong blacks and reds there. I even put a tea set and a tea maker in the corner. Maybe they're gonna serve up some bloody concoctions, if you will. And then this is in fact a view of the bedroom. We have some really cool decor on the dresser there. And we do have this really cool bathroom that I enjoy that had some very interesting fixtures that were a little bit more modern but gothic at the same time. Moving away from the town, we do enter, in fact, the Halloweentown Town Hall. And this is a pretty dynamic building with 3 different stories. Starting off is the ground level or basement floor, if you will. And this is the entrance to the public library. As you can see, I'm just kind of quickly touring the little bathrooms there, just for some convenience for your Sims. And moving over here is the first room of the library. It definitely has a plentiful supply of bookshelves. We do have a sitting area or study area for your Sims. And then moving over here, we do have some very 90s, early 2000s big box computers, if you will. So we do have a computer area for your Sims there as well. Moving back out, we will enter the other side of the library. It is pretty similar, but it doesn't have any computer stations. But we do have a lot more bookshelves. We do have a chess table for your Sims, and then a little sitting area as well if you want to chill out and read a book. Moving back, we're going to go back to the center staircase and up towards the main floor of City Hall. This is the floor that connects with the main entrance to the building itself. And this is seen in the movie. It's kind of strange, actually. 𝗪𝗪𝗓, the mayor, his office is, from what I could see, it was a courtroom, which is really odd. He made his office the courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. So I did try to recreate it. So he does have his front desk there. There is some kind of like City Hall emblem there, if you will, and we do have some bookcases that are seen in the movie. And then of course I added some Halloween banners just to make it feel a little bit more fun and whimsical. On the other side is a nearly identical courtroom, but this one is a lot less decked out, if you will, because obviously the mayor's office, his courtroom would be a lot more lavish. And speaking of the mayor himself, we're on the third floor, and just like the White House here in the United States, I assume that as the mayor and as being the mayor and having a family, he would in fact live in this town hall as well. So he does have a very luxurious suite up here. We do see a view of the master bedroom, which incorporates a lot of objects from Realm of Magic. So it definitely has a very whimsical yet very elegant feel, if you will. So lots of paintings and decor. And moving over here, we have his master bathroom. Again, it's very decked out. We have a double vanity there. There's even room for a sitting area as soon as you open the door. And then we do have, of course, the area for the bathtub and the toiletries there as well. So, pretty lush. I'd love to live here myself, honestly. Moving back out, we will enter the other side of the mayor's suite, if you will, just going through this little hallway. And this is the central dining area. It does have a fireplace. I did see that the City Hall building did have a chimney, so I wanted to make sure that the fireplace was roughly in the same spot. But I imagine the mayor would eat here with some very distinguished townsfolk of Halloweentown itself. So, pretty nice area. You do get a very beautiful view of the town itself. And then, of course, we have the kitchen area, which doubles as a sort of breakfast nook if you don't want to go all fancy in the dining room. This is the perfect area to do so. So pretty cozy, and it does have the stove from Realm of Magic also. Moving out of Town Hall, we now enter Gort's hut. And Gort, as I mentioned, is a character in Halloweentown 2. He's a pretty funny character in terms of him being a very grumpy troll, I believe. And his house is quite interesting. His house is actually where all lost items, I believe, in the mortal and magical worlds, all lost items will actually appear in his house. So, as you guys can see, it's quite messy, but he is a messy man himself. He likes his clutter everywhere, and it was so much fun bringing this to life. Going down to this main floor, this is where Marnie and Luke also enter with Aggie. They're trying to find a lost spell book that 𝗪𝗪𝗓's son stole in the second movie, and they're trying to find a cure for the gray spell. You guys can see that there is a magic portal there that is also a reference to Halloweentown 2. That portal actually takes the characters through time as they're trying to counter 𝗪𝗪𝗓's son and his magic. Over here is just a quick view of Gort's living quarters. They're pretty bare bones. They're pretty yeah. they're pretty gross, but they're there if he does in fact want to live comfortably. Finishing off our tour of Halloweentown is in fact Grandma Aggie's home. Now I did want to save it for last because I love Grandma Aggie, and the actress who played her, Debbie Reynolds, who did an amazing job, unfortunately she did pass away some time ago. But this is the view of her house. It is very close to the actual house in Oregon where this was shot. And you guys can see a lot of the fun details with the pumpkins on the steps, the iron fencing scene in the first movie. And just going on in here, we do have a view of the dining area. I didn't really have a space for it, but I kind of wedged it very carefully in the hallway, if you will. And then turning around, we will have a look at the kitchen. Now, the kitchen is seen in the movie itself, especially in the first movie, where Marnie, Dylan, and Sophie are trying to make the potion for the jack-o'-lantern in the main town. So I did want to keep some particular details. I knew that the kitchen sink was by the bay window, and I knew that Aggie had a very large cabinet containing a lot of different potion ingredients. There is also a table that the siblings were using to kind of gather things or do research. I don't remember in particular, but I did my best to keep it very close to the movie. Now, entering here, we do have Aggie's living room. This, of course, is seen in the movie also, but it does kind of change from the first to the second movie, and we don't really get like a full shot of the living room, but I did keep it in a very similar aesthetic to the house. So we do have a really nice cauldron there for potions. We do have plenty of books, plenty of potion ingredients in the cabinets themselves. And then moving up, we have the second floor where a lot of the bedrooms are. Going to the second floor, we have a pretty cozy landing space. There is a nice kind of sitting area with some paintings. It's very warm and cozy for just a landing area on a staircase. But anyway, we enter the first bedroom. This is the children's bedroom. Again, this is not seen in the movie, but I figured Grandma Aggie would love a space for the kids. Now, unfortunately, her daughter Gwen is very opposed to the magic world itself, but I imagine that Marnie, Dylan, and Sophie would want to stay with Aggie at some point at least. Moving over here is the master bedroom and Aggie's room itself. So she's definitely not a very ostentatious lady, but I did want her room to feel very like witchy, but also very cozy with that nice big comfy bed from Seasons, if you will. She does also have a really cool view of the town outside of those nice giant windows there. And this, of course, is her master bathroom. It does have some pretty fancy fixtures seen from the Realm of Magic pack, which I really wanted to include there. And they also make their reappearance once more in the guest bathroom, which is more or less the same. It has a lot of the same fixtures there as well. So looking at the lot specs as a whole, this is in fact a pretty large 64 by 64 lot. But if you guys have Windenburg, if you guys have Brittleton Bay, or Henford-on-Bagley, there is definitely a lot size to accommodate Halloweentown. In terms of lot type, this is currently set to residential, so if you want to have your own Cromwell family live in the town itself, it's definitely the perfect lot type. Alternatively, you could also make this a retail lot if you want to run a lot of the businesses, but that is totally up to you and your gameplay. Now, in terms of packs, we do use 4 paid packs. We obviously have base game, but we do use content from Get to Work, Get Together, Seasons, and Realm of Magic. Like I always say, there is a 5th pack, which is the Holiday Celebration pack, but this pack is free, and you never have to worry about buying it. Alright guys, and that is a wrap on Disney Channel's Halloweentown. As always, you know I love hearing all of your thoughts and feedback in the comments, and if you are in fact a fan of Halloweentown, definitely let me know in the comments what your favorite movie was of the series, and hopefully if this lot brought back any childhood memories. I really hope you guys enjoy using this big colorful lot for the spooky October season, and with that, this has been 𝗬𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏